So finally, the new season of 2017 anime is here, and we got Blue Exorcist. But I gotta ask, for people that have seen season 1 of Blue Exorcist, what the fuck is going on right now? So, in case you don't know about Blue Exorcist season 1, just to give a very brief synopsis, the main character finds out he's Satan's son. He goes to an academy to learn to be an exorcist because he wants to defeat Satan. And then it was, I want to say around episode 17 or so, where the anime went in a filler direction that kind of conflicts with the future of what happens in the manga. In the manga and the later events, it just kind of doesn't make sense considering the fact of where they went with the anime, because, you know, of course, manga is the main source, the canonical material, so to speak. So the anime ended with filler from, I believe, again, episodes 17 through 25, something along the lines of that, and they essentially, I believe, fought Satan, and we found out that Rin's brother is actually a demon, and so many different things. So it was kind of like, okay, there's never going to be another Blue Exorcist anime, but this anime, Kyoto Saga episode 1, which is supposed to be season 2 of it, is completely ignoring the events of those episodes. It's basically doing a retcon of that material and acting like Blue Exorcist this season, the Kyoto Saga, picks up from the Amaimon fight. So it's essentially ignoring it, which it's a very good thing in a sense, because honestly, I was like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, that was just ridiculous. And I believe they were adapting this manga at the time, and there was only like maybe a handful of volumes out. So doing 25 episodes of a handful of volumes, it wasn't going to work to begin with, unless they did like some really slow pacing. And Blue Exorcist, I'm actually a pretty big fan of. I'm not gonna lie. I think I got like 10 volumes of the manga. I have the Aniplex super expensive first box set of the first 12 episodes of the anime, where we get to, I believe that leaves off with Shura's introduction, because, ooh, I love me some Shura. Badass bitch that's fine like wine. Ooh. But honestly, I think this is going to confuse a lot of people that don't really read into the manga and don't know about the ending of season 1 being filler, because it's ignoring all of that stuff and acting like we're just picking up from shortly after the Amaimon fight, where we find out that Rin is a demon and things of that nature, because this episode 1 of the Kyoto Saga is essentially building off, okay, a lot of people don't trust Rin right now because they saw him as a demon. They're kind of like skeptical of him. And of course, we're picking up with the plot as well of the impure king and his eyes and things of that nature. So we're going in a direction that ignores it, and a part of me is really happy. I'm just happy to see Blue Exorcist back, period. But also, it definitely makes the first season very messy in a sense, because it's like anybody that goes back to that material now, they need to know, oh shit, those episodes, they don't even exist, they don't make sense, they're basically retconned in the second season, so avoid them. And if you haven't heard about that and you don't know, you're watching this for the first time, definitely there's no point in watching them. I mean, they look gorgeous, and the music, because Blue Exorcist always had amazing music, the opening and ending for the second half of Blue Exorcist is amazing. But yeah, it rendered those episodes useless, is what Kyoto Saga episode 1 has done, because it's ignoring it. Now, it could eventually come back, maybe they could be acting like this is an intermediate, but it seems as though, yeah, they're saying fuck those episodes, they didn't happen, it was all a bad dream or something like that, which again, it kind of ruins the ending or the last parts of season 1. But at the same time, I felt as though that material was too wonky anyway, because it's like, whoa, we just started, how are they fighting Satan already? Because I don't even think in the manga, like, you know, up to date now, I don't believe they fought Satan either. So it's kind of like a what the fuck situation. I mean, the episode was awesome, I really enjoyed it, seeing that demon that kind of snuck in, and, you know, he was working for the, I guess, the squad to protect the impure king's eyes. And, you know, that plot that they were setting up was pretty nice, because this episode, for the most part, it was a setup episode. It was taking place after, which again, it was a bit confusing. I like that they actually added the Amaimon flashback to kind of get people up to speed in case you don't remember what happened towards that particular part in Blue Exorcist. But yeah, watching this episode is kind of like, it's jarring. I think once we get to episodes 2 and 3, we're gonna get past that point of being like, so the last half of Blue Exorcist doesn't exist now, huh? But ultimately, that's how I felt about this episode and kind of the confusion. And I know a lot of people are going to be confused, and it's a shame, but there it is. I am happy, however, I'm not going to lie, to see some of my favorite characters come back. Of course, Shura, badass as fuck. Ren Okumuro. Yukio in this episode, it was kind of like you still continue to see his insecurities of, like, you know, even going back to the past of thinking of Father Fujimoto and thinking about his brother and things of that nature, of kind of like him always being essentially the weakling in a sense, because his father was a badass. Father Fujimoto, man, I wish he would have lived a little bit longer, because he looks like such a fucking awesome ass character. And then Ren badass older brother that, you know, doesn't take shit or whatever. So you still see a little bit of the insecurities that we have with Yukio, which I guess in a retrospect, thinking about it now, we did get development for Yukio in those episodes that are being ignored. So it's a shame in that regard. But ultimately, we're getting to see a little bit more of his character. And I believe there's certain aspects in the manga that are going to make some of those changes that they took out of season 1 now, you know, retcon, so to speak, are going to be in there, implemented somehow. So it's gonna be really weird. But either way, honestly, the first episode, it was a nice setup. Oh my god, I believe they have ForneverWorld for that ending song, but I think that ending song is going to be the opening song. And ooh, the visuals and the fucking, like, the visuals, Blue Exorcist, I already knew it was gonna be gorgeous. It looks just as gorgeous as the original Blue Exorcist anime, so we don't gotta worry about much with the art and animation, and the music too. ForneverWorld slammed that song as well. So I'm excited to see where this goes. And based on what they did, again, retconning and ignoring the events of the finale of season 1 of Blue Exorcist, I'd imagine we're going to end, whether it be 12 or 25 episodes this time around, again, we're going to end this one with canon, because maybe they might want to pick it up again at some given point, because they got a lot of love for Blue Exorcist for whatever reason. I mean, it's not the most popular manga or anime in the world, but you could definitely see they put a lot of time and effort to make this look absolutely amazing. Some characters that I kind of don't miss, though, I'm not going to lie, was seeing the return of, I can't even remember her name, to be honest with you, but the chick with the thick little eyebrows that are really thick or whatever, that Rock Lee shit going on. Ooh, and from what a couple of people have told me as well, she actually becomes center of attention for an arc or so later on down the road, so I'm not looking forward to that. Also, we get to see the original Uraraka, as I like to call her, Shamey. She's in there, and you can see that she still has her doubts, and a lot of people, they have their trust issues against Rin, because, again, we're picking up from the Amaimon fight, essentially, where they're all like, what the fuck is going on? So we're gonna see throughout this anime, I'd imagine, the recovery of that trust and everybody getting back on board on, yeah, Rin is actually a dope dude. So I'm looking forward to see that. But yeah, as a whole, basically a good setup episode for Blue Exorcist with a lot of retconning of the end of season 1. But I'm kind of curious what you guys think. First of all, what did you think about this episode? If you're a watcher of Blue Exorcist, you've seen season 1, how did you feel about them ignoring those final episodes? I personally think it was a good move. Maybe they could have addressed it in a sense of like something silly just to get it off of our chest, like, oh, okay, we're ignoring it for this reason, like, hey, it was all a bad dream or something like that, because essentially the way they're doing it is kind of like, can we just sweep it under the rug? It didn't happen, shh, guys, alright? And are you excited for it to be back? And if you haven't checked out Blue Exorcist, what do you think if you actually just stumbled upon season 2? Are you excited for it? Does it look good to you? Again, seemingly now, after this episode, if you're going back and you're rewatching Blue Exorcist, or you're watching it for the first time, you can ignore roughly episode 17, I believe, through 25, or essentially after the Amaimon fight, you can pretty much ignore from there on out, because after that it goes into original anime only content that is ignored in this episode. And what do you think is going to go down regarding this new plot that we have, the Impure King? Do you think that it'll get revived at some given point? That'll be kind of interesting, because based on what these guys are trying to do, they, you know, well, they're fucking people up in the process. What they did to that kid was kind of fucked, and it was nice again to see Yukio, even with all his insecurities, still boss up and, you know, take off the suit and shit like that. Do you think possibly we'll have a resurrection of the Impure King, or where we're gonna go with that? I like that. Also, you notice, because Blue Exorcist, you know, it goes a lot longer than where we're at right now, they were like, oh yeah, he's not one of the really popular ones or really big deals or whatever, but he still is a big deal in a sense. He's still very powerful, and that's why when he was captured back in the day, they took both of his eyes, because yeah, motherfucker has some strength to him. And for people that actually did see it, are you angry that they ignored the ending events of season 1? Because personally, I could totally see if somebody was upset about it, because it was in a way really action-packed and thrilling in a sense to see, like, I believe Rin was captured at the end of season 1, and you know, they fought Satan, and you got to see Yukio become a demon and stuff like that. Are you disappointed and mad about that? I personally think you shouldn't be. The only thing to be slightly griped about is, yeah, they totally are retconning, and retconning in that type of way of just basically ignoring episodes upon episodes. It's kind of a shitty approach to it. Should have just addressed it, even if it was in a funny breaking the fourth wall way, just to kind of, you know, make room for people to understand, oh shit, yeah, that's ignored, instead of just completely acting like it never happened. That was my attempt at whistling. I can't whistle. Fuck my life. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And I'm looking forward to seeing where Blue Exorcist goes from here with this Kyoto Saga. It's looking promising, to say the least. And that art and animation, baby. Oh my god.